After Margot left, Edward had buried himself in work, leaving young Vivian to grow up in the care of staff and silence. Dorian stepped in the only way he knew how, not as a parent, but as a guardian of sorts. Her godfather, yes, but also her quiet protector. The one who remembered birthdays, who taught her to ask questions, who knew when she needed someone to be watching without being seen. And now, someone had taken the earrings. The only thing Vivi had left from her mother, not just jewelry but history, connection, a reminder that her mother had once held her close. This wasn't just another high-end case for a billionaire client. This was Vivian, and when Edward had called, swallowing his pride, to ask for help, Dorian had already made his decision. He promised he'd always look after her to Margot. He was ready to keep both promises. Dorian Fox strolled past the reception desk, his polished leather shoes barely making a sound against the marble tiles. He took off his gloves with the kind of finesse that made even removing accessories look like art. "Now," he said smoothly, looking over the group like a headmaster at a private academy, "someone brief me before I have to interrogate the wallpaper." June stepped forward with a gleam in her eye, holding up her notes. 3 reported thefts in the past week. No sign of forced entry. Guests describe hallucinations, sleep disturbances, and subtle drug-like symptoms. No police action. Hotel claims innocence. Dorian nodded, turning to Luke. "And you, officer?" "Luke Moreau. She's telling the truth. I've seen the incident logs. The hotel keeps things quiet, but something is definitely off." June passed over her diary. "I track everything." He flipped through the notebook, eyebrow arched. "You do this voluntarily?" "Yes," June replied. "I'm trying to be a detective in the future." Dorian smiled faintly. "A noble goal. Most girls just try to survive in fashion world." And June continued, "And we found these silver triangles." Dorian would confirm this wasn't the first time he had encountered these strange calling cards. Years ago, during another case in Prague, a trail of identical silver triangles led him through a labyrinthine hotel connected to organized crimes. The shape was unmistakable. Whoever was behind Hotel de Minuit's ghost thief rumors, smuggling operation, and vanished guests, they were methodical. Precise. And they'd been doing this a long time. Then he turned to Vivi, who was watching him with sparkly eyes and folded arms. "And you, my radiant girl, what have you contributed so far?" Vivi crossed her arms. "I lost my mother's vintage golden earrings." "That count?" "More than you think," he said, his tone softening. "People who steal valuables don't do it randomly. They plan. They wait. They know how to choose marks who seem distracted." He gave her a knowing look. "Sound familiar?" Vivi frowned, suddenly less sparkly. Dorian set her gently aside and turned to Luke. "You mentioned blueprints?" Luke handed them over. Dorian unfolded the floor plans with the precision of a magician about to perform a trick. "Ah, yes. Here. These 3 rooms, 204 to 604, are stacked vertically, all adjacent to a narrow shaft behind the linen closets." June nodded. "We thought it might be a utility passage or a forgotten service corridor." Dorian tapped his finger. "More than that. This type of architecture is common in pre-World War II hotels. Hidden dumbwaiters, laundry chute, sometimes even servant tunnels. If our thief has access, they can enter a room from behind and never trip the hallway cameras." He continued, "But it still leaves one question. Where's the stash?" Luke replied, "Nothing ever turns up." "Because," Dorian said, folding the plans again, "you've been looking on this side of the walls. What if the thief has been stashing the goods inside the infrastructure? A hollow beam, a sealed cabinet, an old ventilation duct." June looked excited. "We could check the unused banquet room on the 6th floor, People said they don't go as it is haunted. There's a wall unit with a locked display case. I thought it was just for show, but I like the way you think, Miss Abbott, Dorian said, a glint of admiration in his eye. Lead the way. As the team moved out, Vivi lingered for a moment beside Luke. She nudged him lightly. He's annoyingly brilliant, huh? Luke chuckled. He's a little dramatic. She smiled. Runs in the family. It was already evening when June and Vivi returned from their neighborhood intel gathering. As they entered the lobby, the front desk manager's warm smile faltered slightly. She gave a tight nod, too rehearsed. Upstairs, behind the hotel's staff-only door, tension buzzed like static. In the back office, manager Lyon Marchand paced. Lyon scowled. And now that ridiculous rookie officer, Luke, keeps showing his face like this is some friendly game. He talks too much. Someone's going to slip up. The assistant hesitated. Should we call the supervisor again? Lyon exhaled hard. Tell him we're concerned. Officer Luke is harassing paying guests. Use the word liability. We need him out of this. And the detective? Lyon paused. I don't know who he is. Why our master hasn't told me anything about him. I am sure he knows. Dorian Fox. He turned toward the surveillance monitor. One camera currently trained on the hotel cafe where Dorian was sipping an espresso, flipping through a leather-bound notebook with absurd elegance. No one drinks espresso like that unless he is someone or something, Lyon muttered. Back downstairs, Vivi was posing next to a vintage elevator for a picture. June leaned in, pretending to fix her hair as she whispered, "The concierge just made a call. Said he's still here." Then looked at us. June frowned. They know they're in trouble. And they don't like Luke hanging around. Vivi nodded. Which means we're close. They want us gone. June lowered her voice. Think they'll do something drastic? Vivi slipped her sunglasses back on. They'd better not. I haven't even uploaded my breakfast review yet. 3 stars maximum, stale croissants. June rolled her eyes. Always thinking of the mission. Vivi shrugged. I am the mission. The air was thick with tension as Luke approached the girls outside a quiet bookstore near the hotel. His usual easy grin was missing. He held his police cap in his hands, turning it slowly between his fingers. June saw it first. What's wrong? Luke glanced around, lowered his voice. I've been pulled off. Officially. Vivi blinked. What? Why? Supervisor says I've crossed lines. Overstepped. Unprofessional involvement with tourists. He made air quotes with a bitter twist. Manager Marchand called him. Claimed I was interfering with hotel operations. June's mouth dropped open. They tattled on you? Luke gave a short nod. Said my presence was damaging the hotel's reputation. It's nonsense, but my hands are tied. If I keep poking around, I could lose my badge. I'm sorry. June folded her arms tightly across her chest, thinking. She looked different now, focused, sharper. No, she said, more to herself than to him. That's exactly what they want. Every time someone digs too close, they vanish. Victims check out. Police back off. Complaints disappear. It's a cycle. Luke gave her a look. She met his gaze evenly. They're scared. And that's leverage. Vivi stepped up. So what do we do? June took a breath. We keep going. No more asking politely. No more waiting for official channels. We know something's wrong. We've got a hidden door, multiple victims, a creepy cupboard that opens on its own. And now they're trying to silence help? That's not haunting. That's orchestration. Vivi, flicking a strand of hair over her shoulder. Then it's time for what we do best. Luke raised an eyebrow. Being fabulous in danger? June grinned. Solving what no one else will. Luke sighed, but there was a spark of admiration in his eyes. I'm not supposed to help. But I'll drop by later. As a friend, not an officer. Vivi smirked. We've got croissants and cold revenge. Come hungry. June already had her notebook open. We need to map the guest rooms that reported thefts. Maybe there's a pattern, a line of access. If the hidden passages are real, someone's using them. Vivi added, and we need to find that lady with the missing ring. If we can prove this is organized theft and not paranormal panic, maybe the higher-ups will listen. Luke stepped back, nodding. Be careful. They're watching now. We always are, June said softly. As he walked away, Vivi whispered, Okay, but can we at least wait to break into anything until my new eyeliner dries? June groaned. Somewhere across the town, in a dimly lit lounge cloaked in velvet and secrets, a man in a tailored suit looked up the photos, Dorian Fox, stepping into frame with his signature cold composure. The man did not flinch. He slowly sipped his wine, his expression unreadable, until the moment he set the glass down, his jaw tightening. He picked up a burner phone. She's not just a spoiled child, he said coldly into the receiver. She brought teeth as I expected. A pause. Let's the fun begins.